Welcome to Online English Academy. Please watch the video until the end and several times to improve your speaking and listening skills.
Deep beneath the vast, endless ocean, among towering cliffs and colorful coral reefs, there was a kingdom under the sea. The ruler of this kingdom was a kind and benevolent king, known and loved by all the sea creatures. He had 6 beautiful daughters, each one unique in her own way. However, among them, the Little Mermaid, the youngest of the 6, was the most different. The Little Mermaid was incredibly beautiful, but her beauty was not the only thing that set her apart. She had a kind heart, filled with grand dreams. She lived in the palace at the bottom of the sea with her mother and sisters, but she never felt truly at home. She always looked longingly at the surface of the water and dreamed of experiencing the human world, where the earth was dry, the air was breathable, and people walked on 2 feet. Every night, as the moon cast its silver light on the ocean's surface, the Little Mermaid would swim alone in the depths, gazing up at the stars. In her heart, she felt a deep longing, a desire she couldn't shake. She knew that her life in the sea, beautiful and peaceful as it was, couldn't satisfy her yearning. She longed for more, a world with legs, a world of land. One day, as the Little Mermaid was swimming near the coral reefs, her gaze caught sight of a large ship caught in the middle of a terrible storm. The ship was being tossed by massive waves and was on the verge of crashing into the rocks. The Little Mermaid, her heart racing with worry, swam towards the ship through the storm, determined to help. Amidst the fierce waves, she managed to pull a man from the wreckage and bring him to the shore. The man was a young prince, handsome and noble, with a kind face. After saving him, the Little Mermaid stayed by his side, her heart aching as she gazed at him. The prince was unconscious, and she could do nothing but watch over him as he lay on the beach. The moment she saw him, something stirred deep inside her, an overwhelming sense of connection. She had no words for it, but she knew that somehow, he was meant to be part of her life. Days passed, and the Little Mermaid returned again and again to the shore, keeping her distance as she secretly watched the prince regain consciousness. She longed to speak to him, to tell him what had happened, but every time she tried, she found herself silent. He never saw her, and in her heart, she wished desperately to be with him, to live on land like a human. She knew, however, that as long as she was a mermaid, she could never truly be with him. The thought of living forever in the sea without him was unbearable. She knew she had to change, she had to find a way to walk on land. The thought of a solution brought her to the only person who could grant her wish, the Sea Witch, a mysterious and powerful being who dwelled deep within the ocean. The Little Mermaid, filled with anxiety and hope, swam to the Sea Witch's lair. The witch, with her wicked, glowing eyes, looked at her with a chilling gaze. "Why have you come to me?" the Sea Witch asked, her voice a raspy whisper. "I want legs," the Little Mermaid said, her voice trembling. "I want to walk on land, to be with the prince, to live the life of a human." The Sea Witch smirked, her sharp teeth gleaming. "To get what you wish for, you must pay a steep price. Your beautiful voice, the voice that enchants the sea creatures and brings joy to the ocean, must belong to me. You will speak no more, and you will never return to your ocean home." The Little Mermaid hesitated for a moment, but then she spoke, her heart heavy. "I am willing to give up my voice, to trade it for the chance to be with the prince, to live on land with him." The Sea Witch smiled a wicked smile and, with a swift gesture, cast a spell. Suddenly, the Little Mermaid felt a sharp pain in her body. Her tail transformed into 2 human legs, but they were heavy and painful to walk on. As the spell ended, she realized that her sweet voice was gone, and she could never sing again. Her heart ached with loss, but her determination to be with the prince kept her moving forward. She swam to the surface and walked ashore, where she found the prince. Now, with legs of flesh and bone, she could walk by his side, but the pain in her legs was unbearable. Every step she took felt like walking on sharp knives. But despite the pain, she was willing to endure it all, just to be close to him. Days passed, and the prince grew fond of the silent girl with the mysterious beauty. He did not know who she truly was, only that she had saved his life. But though they spent time together, there was always an unspoken distance. She could not speak, could not tell him her story, and he never learned that she was the same mermaid who had saved him from drowning. He grew closer to her, but his heart was still searching for the one who had truly captured his love. Finally, after much time, the prince made a decision. He had fallen in love with another woman, a princess from a distant kingdom. The Little Mermaid, heartbroken, could not understand why he did not love her in return, especially after everything she had sacrificed. But she remained silent, unable to express her sorrow, as the prince prepared to marry the princess. The Little Mermaid, with her heart shattered, returned to the sea. She knew that her time was running out. The sea which had promised her nothing but pain, and now, with the prince choosing another, she knew she had no place left. But before she left for the deep ocean, the sea witch appeared once more. "You have paid the price, but there is no more to be done," the witch said, coldly. "You are no longer a mermaid, and you will never return to the sea." With tears in her eyes, the Little Mermaid looked to the sky. She had given up everything for love, and now, she would pay the ultimate price. Her soul, pure and selfless, rose to the stars, free from pain and sorrow. In the end, she became one of the daughters of the air, gentle spirits who bring peace to the world, forever watching over the earth, free from the burden of her lost love.
Thank you for watching the video until the end. Please subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon, and like our video.